for entertainment purposes only. Hi everybody, it's Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. I want to congratulate all the giveaway winners that I announced yesterday. Congratulations to you guys. I'm happy that you guys got readings. I think it's awesome. Can't wait to talk to you. And listen, let's talk a little bit about politics. I have to tell you something. You know, I don't like being negative. I don't like telling you bad things. I don't like all this energy. I'm an empath. And so when I go into the energy of Trump and his cronies, it's pretty yucky. It's like swimming in a cesspool. And that's why, you know, I often burn sage, except for now the whole house smells like a big doobie. So now I'm burning this pure sage candle, and I'm hoping that it has some kind of similar effect. I doubt it, because really it needs this. But anyway, I digress. Here's the thing, guys. Last video that I did about politics, I said there's going to be a surprise. Well, there was a surprise in the sense that I didn't know that all of the 100+ U.S. Congress people were going to sign on to this silly lawsuit that they sent to the Supreme Court to, you know, say that the election was fraudulent. I didn't know that. So that was a surprise, but that's not the surprise. The guides are still talking to me all the time about a surprise. And so I want to talk to you today about Bill Barr and his successor, and maybe some of the things that's coming up, because forewarned is forearmed. Now, I want to tell you, as bad as it gets, and it's going to be shocking. I said this last time, they are not backing down on this. They say it's going to be shocking. They actually tell me it's going to be a constitutional crisis, is the words that they use. Now, what kind of constitutional crisis or when, I don't know. Let's see, maybe it'll come through during this reading and we'll get some more clarity about that. But there's definitely something here that I want to talk about with Bill Barr. Bill Barr resigned, but the energy suggests to me, when I talk to my guides, they suggest that he was forced out. Bill Barr has some kind of agenda that was not Trump's agenda. It was his own agenda that he did while it was his side hustle. He has this kind of side hustle agenda. I still don't understand all of it. Some of it has to do with this thing called Operation Legend, which allowed him to go through the country and make regular police officers federal deputized police officers. Now, what that means is that when all A.G. double toothpick breaks loose after the real election, the inauguration, when Joe Biden actually becomes our president, not president-elect, and these fools start acting crazy in the streets, and we know who we're talking about, the Proud Boys and whatnot, the militias, these deputized police officers can either arrest whoever they want. They can arrest Black Lives Matter people. They can arrest you and me standing on the street doing nothing. And that is a federal crime. If you just so happen to be arrested by one of these police officers that's deputized as a federal police officer, it's a federal crime. It's not just a normal, you got arrested at a rally and the judge, just like all those people that were arrested during those Black Lives Matter protests, they all got set free because the local judge said, next, this is BS, next, this is BS, next, okay? But it's not going to happen if you get arrested by a federally deputized police officer. So Operation Legend has been bugging me because Barr came to my community. He's going to all these little bitty, mostly white communities and deputizing police officers. It's all in the name of curtailing violence. But you know what? And you know what else it does to you guys? It allows police officers to not have to follow the local department's guidelines because they follow federal guidelines. Federal guidelines means you don't have to have a body camera on you. So local municipalities like LA, when he first started this, he was going to LA and bigger municipalities, and they said, no, if they're going to be working next to a regular police officer, and they are a regular police officer, but right now they're deputized, they have to follow the same rules as the rest of us. They can't be side by side with our police officers and not follow those rules. So that's when Barr decided, well, to hell with that. I'm going to go to these little, smaller communities where they don't ask me those silly questions, right? So there's a lot there. Okay, so that's that. Barr had his own little agenda. It was very important to him. It was his baby, but he had to leave it behind because he had to go. Now, why did he have to go? $1 million question, right? Because here's a guy who right now, while he was in his office, in his elected office, or his appointed office, I should say, had allowed firing squads to be reenacted, reused for federal crimes. Firing squads. This is not a wallflower. This is not a guy that's afraid of breaking some norms, right? That's not him. Bet you didn't know, I just learned this today, that Barr was actually Attorney General for a brief period of time during Bush administration, and his claim to fame was orchestrating the Iran-Contra deal. Who knew, right? Who knew? So this guy's bad news. Okay, but here's the thing that I want to tell you that's so important. Barr literally was forced out. He had to go because Trump wanted him out, because as bad as Barr is, as bad as firing squad Barr is, he's not bad enough. He's not bad enough for Trump. That's some mind-blowing shit. So the assistant deputy AG is now our AG. And his name is Jeffrey Rosen. And we don't really know much about him. Honestly, there's not a lot to know about him, but you can better believe that he is going to have to do what Trump wants him to do, or he'll be gone too. Now, what is Trump wanting to do besides anything he wants him to do? All Trump has ever wanted was an AG, an attorney general, the highest law official in the United States, to do his bidding, to lock up this person, investigate that person. And we all know, that when you don't do his bidding, he fires you, or he gets rid of you, or he makes you go, however it has to happen, but you're gone. Okay, so this new guy's got to be worse than firing squad Barr, right? He's got to be. So what are some of the things that he could do? Well, for one, and this is really what's kind of being talked about among the lawyers and the more of the judicial people in DC, is that Trump wants to pardon himself. Now, there's a standing argument, or whatever you want to call an opinion, that says that Trump cannot pardon himself. Okay, so apparently Barr would have to agree that Trump could pardon himself. Barr would have to go on record as saying that's a possibility. And they think that Barr wouldn't do that was a step too far, and that's why he had to go. Now, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why. I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why. My guides tell me that's one of the reasons why, but there's more. There's more. Really and truly, Barr has not been doing his bidding lately because Barr is starting to see that red line, that if he crosses that, he's the one that's going to end up in hot water. He's the one that's going to end up in a witness stand. He's the one that's going to be given a deposition. He's the one that may end up with jail time. And so he stopped. He's like, there's the red line. I can't cross it. So now they're going to get this poor guy, maybe not, to do his bidding, right? So one of the bidding might be, yes, you can pardon yourself, President Trump. Another bidding is wrecking the AG, wrecking the attorney generals, wrecking our DOJ, wrecking our Department of Justice is what the guides tell me is going to happen. He's going to go through and fire people. He's going to change rules. He's going to change processes. He's going to investigate people. He has the power to investigate anybody he wants to. He can make people's lives miserable. He can direct the FBI or whoever to investigate anybody. So just imagine what the list looks like. Just imagine if he, said, you got to investigate Nancy Pelosi and da-da-da-da all the way down the line. And of course, Hunter Biden, because that's so important right now. So it's akin to this. When my guides show me when somebody is losing their house to foreclosure and they're just so mad about it, that they go in and they wreck the place, you know, or burn it down or pour concrete in the pipes or, you know, just make sure that it's uninhabitable. You know, if I can't live here, no one gets to live here. That's kind of Trump's stance right now. If I don't get to be president, then guess what? Any institution that was normal, that was operating, that was respecting our laws and our democracy and our Constitution and the amendments to our Constitution, I'm going to wreck it. I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to stomp on it. I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to shred it. That's what he wants to do. And this is the man he thinks is going to do it for him. And they've got, say, whatever, 20 to 30 days to do it. That's a lot of time. People are terrified. That is a lot of time. So then we get to the constitutional crisis. Because, you know what? If you ask me, guys, we're already in a constitutional crisis. We are already in a constitutional crisis. This man has eaten his lunch on our Constitution. You know, he's wiped his butt with it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what this man has done. So here's the thing. One more thing I want to talk about, really important. So we just, ratified the votes yesterday or Monday, where Congress, the local states got all their votes together, said, yes, here they are. Everything is correct. We're sending it to Congress. Now it's in Congress's hands. This was mind-blowing. I learned this morning. Mind-blowing. You may have seen going around on the internet and all the social media that there's this plea, usually by Trumpers, that says it's not over because the Congress can protest the vote. The Congress can say the vote is wrong, and even though the states have ratified it, it's wrong, and we do not accept the vote from these states. Okay, now this is true. This can really happen. and if the House of Representatives was controlled by the Republican Party and the Senate was controlled by the Republican Party, yet we voted in a Democratic president, it is true that the Republican Party, if they control both the House and the Senate, they could protest these votes and literally not certify them. They could not certify California if they didn't want to certify it. Therefore, reinstalling whatever Republican was running back in office. And as somebody said today, our founding fathers counted on some goodwill, counted on some humanity, some respect for our Constitution. Well, here we are, constitutional crisis. So luckily, the House is still under Democratic rule, but only by a few votes. We don't have a major majority there, and we don't have a majority in the Senate. And, you know, even though my guides tell me we're going to win those 2 seats, I'm telling you, Ossoff is tight. It's tight, guys. It's tight. So I'm not sure that, if we only win, Warnock, who's a great guy, is going to be a fantastic senator, who's going to have a very long career, a very prestigious career and long career. That doesn't give us what we need. We need Ossoff and Warnock, and then we're going to have Harris as the VP. She will be the tie-breaking vote. That basically will just split it 50-50, which is what my guides have been saying for literally 6 weeks. 6 weeks they've been saying it's going to be 50-50. It's going to be 50-50. Okay? And it seems like it's karmic, like I said before in another video, that, we are supposed to be learning our lesson here. And we can't learn our lesson if our hands are tied behind our back and we can't do anything to prove that we did or did not learn our lesson. So by the Democrats getting, or by let's say Congress or the Senate being split 50-50, everybody has a chance to show the universe if we've learned our lesson. Okay? So to me, that's why it's supposed to happen. It's karmic. We're supposed to be able to have the opportunity to show whether or not we've learned our lesson. Another thing, Trump. He was brought in because he was supposed to burn it down. He was supposed to burn down our Constitution. He was supposed to literally burn down everything so that we could rebuild it. So that we could say, okay, we want it just the way it was. Let's rebuild it just the way it was. Let's put all the constitutional amendments back just the way they were. Or, you know what, this amendment really doesn't apply. It's not really working for us in 2021. And we need to really change this. Like, for instance, the fact that Congress can throw out an election. I think we need to change that amendment. We need to change that amendment. That is crazy. I mean, it would be crazy if the Democrats did it. It'd be crazy if the Republicans did it. It takes the power away from the states. I don't even understand, but it's there, and it's real. It's a real amendment. It's a real thing. And so I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling, and I'm irritated by this whole thing, as you can tell. But here's the thing. So they show me Biden coming through this. Okay. So again, my last video, I told you guys, look, it's going to be hair raising. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. It might be scary. It might be destabilizing. It may destabilize the economy. It may destabilize our local governments. I mean, there's so many things going on right now. We're trying to figure out how to give out vaccines. The states don't have the money. They don't have the infrastructure. There's so many things we're struggling with as a country. And in the middle of that, we've got this guy throwing firebombs in the White House and into our judiciary and into our, everything else, So it's going to be a little bit topsy-turvy, but we're going to get through it. So their message to you is batten down the hatches. We're going to get through this. Today I have done videos and I've told all of you guys about the economy and being careful. You guys, yesterday or this week, I ordered a couch cover, some sheets, and one other very utilitarian thing. And they told me I was spending too much money. And y'all, I have money in the bank because they told me this was coming before it came. And I sold the house that I dearly love and I put the cash in the bank. So I have money in the bank. But they're still telling me I'm spending too much money by replacing sheets and a couch cover. So take that for what you will, okay? Take that for what you will. To me, that's a pretty stern warning that we need to be very careful. We need to batten down the hatches. We need to be very careful going forward. And then while you're still listening to me, somebody out there needs to change their smoke alarm batteries. Change your smoke alarm batteries. Don't have a smoke alarm? Go get one. Go get one at Walmart. Go get one at Home Depot. Get a smoke alarm. Put it in your bedroom. Put it in your kid's bedroom. Somebody needs to hear this. It's important. I got woke up by a smoke alarm going off in my head, and it wasn't real. So we need to pay attention to that message, okay? They're sending me messages. These are the messages I need to get out to you. One last thing. We're going to lighten this crap up. And YouTube doesn't like it if you cuss a lot, so I'm going to have to start abbreviating shortly. I introduced this deck yesterday, the Rebel deck, the Oracle with an Attitude. We're going to pull a card. We're going to pull a card for Trump. Give me a card for Trump. What does Trump need to know right now? He needs to know he needs to leave. I'm going to do another video on that. He's some people think he's pushing it. He is pushing it. My last video, I said, he's pushing it. It's like push button, create pain, fear, drama, get money. It's like a video game. You push this button, the money flows to you, and that's what he's doing right now. So he's got these supporters that he's scaring the hell out of, and they're giving him money. And he can still have that when he leaves. He doesn't need to be president to have that. He can take that with him anywhere he goes. So now it's going to be a matter of making an exit. How does he make the exit? And it's going to be a matter of, I told you, Biden is starting to take his gloves off. Biden might be a walk across the aisle. Everything's going to be okay. Let's go have a beer kind of guy. But Kamala Harris is a prosecutor, and she's like, this guy's criminal, and we're going to take him out. And I'm sure that he's getting it from Kamala right now, So anyway. Wow, that's amazing. So here's his message. Stop talking. Shut your mouth and listen. Donald Trump, shut your mouth and listen. If only, right? So listen, guys, I just wanted to tell you that because I think it's going to get real scary. I think this craziness with the Congress, I honestly, the message I get, this is the last thing, it's like 20 minutes long. look, I know we have enough Democrats to beat this thing that they need. Well, I'm not sure, honestly. What I hear the experts say is there's enough Democrats and enough sane Republicans to stop this from happening, to stop this congressional protest of the vote from happening. But I'm here to tell you that it's going to be a show. It's because everything is a show. So there's going to be a show of these Congress people trying to protest it, and they're going to say that they did protest it, and then they're going to, it's a show, but it's going to look scary. It's going to look real, and it's going to threaten our sense of democracy, our sense of security, and it's going to make us feel like we're having a constitutional crisis. Okay? That's what's coming. But that's what I have for you guys today. You guys are awesome for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Leave me a comment. Tell me what kind of topics you want me to cover. I'm going to tell you this, that as we get through this hell, I want to do videos that help you unleash and unlock your own potential, your own psychic, intuitive potentials, because that's what I'm here to do. That's why, that's my task here on earth at this time in my life, is to help people do that, is to empower you, and is to help you in any way I can. So to that degree, if there's videos that I can do that talk about different kinds of intuitive things or spiritual things or whatever, I'll be happy to do it. Or if you'd like for me to cover some other political issues, please let me know what they are. Again, I'm so very grateful for you. I want you guys all to take care, and I want you to change the batteries in your smoke detectors, and I want you to put some money back in savings. And we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. You and me and all of us, we're going to get through this. Believe me, we're going to get through it. It's going to be okay. It's just going to be, a little bit of a rocky ride for a little bit. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos. I really appreciate it. And like the video if you found it interesting. And we'll talk soon.